Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Rustabout Collector here, and today we are looking at something really cool. And this is something that you're not going to find in your ordinary Walmart or your Target. This is something you're going to find at places like Galaxy's Edge and the Disney Store. This is a Droid Depot 5-pack of the droids you see before you, and I was fortunate enough to get this pack. Someone over on Instagram that I follow, Baron's Black Series, was out at Galaxy's Edge, and I was like, hey, would you take a request? Would you kindly, if you see one of these in the Disney Store or what have you, would you kindly pick one up for me and ship it to me? And he was kind enough to do that. So here before you, I have the Droid Depot 5-pack. Now, I don't know exactly what these droids are from. I'm assuming that they're probably from Galaxy's Edge or some other Disney Star Wars experience. They're not necessarily from a movie, but if you're curious, it is R1J1, which is like the droid that the Jawas have in Episode 4, BR72, this beautiful like 1980s looking droid. I love that, classic sci-fi. C2B9, which is this blue one. EGD1 or 01. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. C2B9 is this one, even though that's an R4 unit. And L4R6 is the blue one. And then EG01 is the Gonk Droid. All hail the Gonk Droid. But yeah, this is just a cool set that I really wanted to get when I saw it was released because, one, this droid just looks so 70s sci-fi, the 70s, 80s sci-fi, really, that I just wanted it. I wanted that cool, bright red and yellow droid. And also, I like a good R4 unit. They didn't make a whole lot of variations up until recently with like Disney's Build-A-Droid system and stuff. So I've been trying to get more R4 units because, or R5 unit, wait, R4, R5. I always get the numbers wrong. I want to say R5 has the squarish dome, and then these are like R6s, and then the R3s have a clear dome. I don't know. I always get the numbers wrong. I'm calling it an R5, even though this one is C2B9, but whatever. Well, technicalities aside, it's a cool yellow astromech droid, and this is a cool yellow droid. I don't know what else to call it. It's just clunky and it looks awesome. The packaging is very sleek and rather plain, not in a bad way. It just is plain. It's sleek. It's nice. On the back here, we have this write-up. You can pause it here if you want to read about all the different kinds of droids. And it actually says here, these droids are often found outside the Droid Depot on Batuu, which is the Galaxy's Edge place. So I'm assuming all of these droids can be found around the park, which is kind of cool. You know, as a kid, if you're walking around, it'd be kind of neat to be like, oh, there's the droid that I just bought at the Disney Store, I guess. You know, whatever. It's cool. It's neat. And for those that might be curious, there is the price tag that you're going to be paying for these. $10 a figure. It's not bad. Not gonna lie, it's not bad. So let's go ahead and break these guys out of the packaging. And there we have them all out of the package, and they look really cool. I especially love that they are all pretty nicely weathered, I would say. We'll take a closer look at them individually, but overall they're kind of cool. They're weathered, and that's something that I probably would have done anyways, since I like to put astromech droids with like the Jawas and stuff and have them be a little bit more weathered and beat up, and these already came that way out of the package, which is really cool. Now we'll start left to right, so we'll push these guys to the back, and we'll start with this one. Basically the most ordinary and plain out of the lot. This is the R1 droid, and we probably see this somewhere around Galaxy's Edge. I've never been, so I can't say, but overall I would say the detail is very nice. It's got this cool printing here on the back. The weathering is printed on, so you can kind of see in some places where it gets a little bit digitalized, if that makes sense. It doesn't look like a paint wash. You can kind of see where the printer printed it on there, but overall it looks nice. It looks weathered. The plastic feels a little bit cheap, I will say. Like, this doesn't feel like quality plastic. It feels cheap. It feels very light and hollow, but the detail's there, and for a droid that really just kind of sits there and the head just kind of spins around, it does well enough. There is, like, it almost seems like there's a joint there, but probably more so this is just a piece of production, like there are two pieces for the molding process. So it doesn't spin around here. It just spins around here at the head, and that is all. But you got all sorts of tubing and, you know, attachments, accessories. It's stamped here on the side with Lucasfilm, Disney, and China, which is curious because it's not a Hasbro figure, so maybe that's why the quality is a little bit different. It feels more almost like McDonald's toy plastic, if that makes sense, like the harder plastic. I had at one point, and I do still have, the original R1 that Hasbro made. I couldn't find it for this video, unfortunately, but I do have it, and it was made out of a much more durable, heavy plastic. And I'm not saying that the plastic quality is bad or anything, I'm just making note of it because, you know, some collectors might care about that. They get this out of the package expecting one thing, and they realize it's a little bit of a lighter plastic, a little bit of a harder plastic, and maybe they would be a little bit bummed about that. I'm not totally sure. Then we have BR72. I don't really know anything about this droid other than that it looks cool, and it was one of the main reasons that I had to get this pack because it's just this cool, very retro looking droid. It reminds me of all the practical droids and like robots and sci-fi things you would see in the old TV shows like Star Trek and Star Wars, the original Star Wars, you know, so something about it was just appealing to me, and I had to get it for that reason. The cool thing is there's all this weathering and paint, and it just looks really, really cool, bright, flashy colors. But also, it's like you can take it apart. So it's got a simple peg system for the arms, just like any other normal Build-A-Droid. You can pop the head off, and you can see all these cool components inside, which I think is so, so cool. You know, you could have like for toy photography or a diorama, you could have it displayed like this with a Jawa or something working on it. And then you can also pop it in half here at the waist. And I'm kind of curious if that means that we're going to get other variations of this droid, or if there's some droids that I'm not aware of that you can kind of kit bash this together with. Either way, it looks really cool. Really happy to have this one in the collection, and I just love it. I love the colors, I love the design. It's so cool, and I can just imagine it just like putting around on Tatooine or something like that. So there's that one. It looks really cool, and I love it. Next up, we're on to the first of the two astromech droids, and we have here L4R6. Yeah, it's an astromech droid. It's got blue markings. It's got one of those taller like pyramid heads. And I'm not really sure what there is to say about this figure other than that it is a simple repaint of all the previous Build-A-Droids that we've gotten, either from the Legacy Collection or from any of the Disney Build-A-Droids, things like that. There are many ways that you can get this mold of the droids, and these are compatible with the old Legacy Collection. However, I noticed that like on the legs, there are no cables running between this little box and the foot, which are present on the Legacy Collection, so it seems like they trimmed them down a little bit, maybe used a softer, cheaper plastic. They don't feel as durable as the old Build-A-Droid figures, so they are compatible, they scale perfectly fine with them, but they are not maybe the same quality. So maybe Disney changed the recipe just a little bit when making these, because these aren't technically Hasbro droids, even though clearly they use the same molds to make them. And just like any normal Build-A-Droid, you can pop them apart at all the different joints and kit bash them together with any other droid parts. It has the nice like interior design there. Interior design as though that's the inside of a house. You know, the interior components are all there and painted a nice color of silver, or maybe cast in a nice color of silver. Either way, they look really nice. They're nicely sculpted, nicely detailed, and you know, these are cool astromech droids for either maybe an X-Wing or a Y-Wing if you have the ship and you want a unique droid to go in there, or just the backdrop of a Tatooine diorama. Maybe you're building a Batuu diorama, or you just want astromech droids. I know plenty of people that just purely collect astromech droids because they're cool. They're quirky, and honestly, I love this patterning. I like the stripes, how they kind of continue down from the dome all the way across the torso, and if you line them up, they go down here, down there, down there. They don't really line up back here, but still, it's a unique design, and I like it. The shade of blue is really nice, and the weathering, as you can see, looks really grungy, like this guy's been around a mechanic shop for a while. Overall, it's a really cool droid. Moving on down the line to this one of the ones that I was really, really excited for. We have C2B9, the yellow astromech droid, presumably from Batuu as well, but I don't know for sure. It's just a cool little astromech droid, and I liked the weathering on it, and I liked the striping. I like the stripes coming down from each eye. It looks kind of interesting, I guess. I don't know. This one does have a nice little decal, or actually paint app there. I thought maybe that would be like a sticker or something. I was a little bit concerned that it would be a sticker, but it is actually a paint app with those black and yellow stripes, kind of like a hazard sign or something going up that panel there. Now the weathering seems to be kind of isolated to the torso, and it's not, or what I call the torso body and like the legs, and it doesn't appear to be weathered at all on the head apart from like the little white flakes that I presume are meant to be like chips in the paint or something like that. And also these little components running up the side of the head, those should be silver. They've been silver on previous releases, and yeah, they're not silver here. And also I just noticed that these panels all should be silver, and they just kind of did the front four and then left the rest unpainted. Maybe that's a design choice. Maybe the actual one is painted like that, like the actual droid at Galaxy's Edge is like that, and so it's an accurate representation. I'll have to see if there are any photos online that I can confirm or deny that, but yeah, either way, it's a little curious. There's the top of the head. Both of these have little slots or peg holes on the top of their heads for other droid attachments. So that's cool. You can kind of kit bash them with some of the accessory kits that you can get with the Build-A-Droid line. And yeah, it's a nice droid. I like this design. I really, really do. And you know, if you're so inclined, if you get these or other Build-A-Droids, you know, you can always kit bash them, make your own unique astromech droids. The limbs all are combinable. And I will say this, now that I'm noticing it when I switch over these legs, the joints are also considerably looser than the old Build-A-Droid figures from like the Legacy collection. So I guess make note of that. They do seem to be maybe a little bit retooled or something like that, where they're just not the same quality. I feel like they're not bad. I'm not saying these are bad quality, but they just seem like maybe they're a little bit cheaper or cheaply made compared to the old ones, probably for cost reasons. And yeah, I guess that could be a con for some people. I don't mind it too much. It's not so bad that it would be a serious con for me, but yeah, it's worth noting that they're definitely lower quality than the old Build-A-Droids. And then finally we have our Lord and Savior, the Gonk Droid. Oh, it's cool. It's a Gonk Droid. I mean, there isn't much to say about it other than Gonk. It's got good paint taps, it's got good weathering, it's got all kinds of details and a little antenna up there. It's got a hole there for some sort of attachment. I'm not sure what would go on the Gonk Droid, but it's got it. It's got wires and cables. It's even got little leg articulation, so you can see there it's just got swivels, so he can walk. He can walk so that others can run. You know what I'm saying? He can go around and charge all of your iPhones as quickly as a Gonk Droid can. And if I'm not mistaken, I think, yeah, there we go. You can also take him apart. You can take off his lid, I guess, and take a look at the brain power cell behind the Gonk Droid. And I do like that they took the time to paint all of those areas silver and little blue and red wires there. It's pretty cool, and I would say overall, all these droids have a surprising amount of detail and paint apps. So for the $10 each price tag, you know, it was $50 for all five, so consider each one $10. I'd say it's not bad. It's pretty reasonable, I think. You're getting a unique droid as well. I mean, the paint apps on these are kind of unique as well, but this is a very unique droid, so laying that all out, I think it's a pretty fair price. And so if you go to Galaxy's Edge, or if you maybe know somebody that is going there, maybe they can pick you up one of these sets and you can add it to your collection. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty stoked about having it, and yeah, if you're a droid lover, this might be worth picking up. For a quick size comparison, we'll scoot these guys over. Here is a 3 3/4 inch clone trooper, and you can see it scales perfectly fine. I mean, these droids are already based off of 3 3/4 inch molds anyways, so it fits in perfectly. They're all great. They work really well, and I do like that. But yeah, there's that. There's the Galaxy's Edge Droid Depot 5-pack, and I think it's a really cool pack. So again, if you like droids, maybe consider picking this up. But there's really not much else to say about these droids. They're cool, they're neat. I like them. I like having unique droids in the collection for displays and photos and all that stuff. So this is like the perfect pack for me, and I'm glad I finally got it. But that's where we're going to wrap up this video, so as always, like, comment, share, subscribe, those things down in the description. There is a link tree that can take you over to my Instagram where I do toy photography and I talk about toy releases and stuff like that. There's also a link to Entertainment Earth in case you want to order or pre-order any upcoming figures. You can do that through that link. It helps out the channel and I greatly appreciate that. But as always, guys, thank you for watching. Be kind to one another, be cool, stay fresh, and I will catch you all in the next video.